Welcome to the Brook Railroad, and today we're working on this thing. So this is a truck off of a customer's car, off of Jared's car. You've seen him on the channel. Matter of fact, he's holding the camera right now. Very helpful. So this truck it's an old truck. I have no idea who made it. Doesn't matter really. It's just seen better days. So we're gonna do some maintenance to it. We've got a threaded hole right here that I need to chase the threads, put a new set screw in it. I've got another one over here, needs the same. And I've got to grease the journal boxes. And we'll just see what we can do to keep this thing going and keep it from deconstructing itself. So first thing I'm going to do, pop the springs out. And I'm putting my hand here so it doesn't fly into the camera lens or hit Jared, you know? Wouldn't be good. Got purple springs there. There's some purple on there still left. They're the heavy duty ones. All right. Somewhere in there. There. Do that without launching it. Spin it around. That was easy. Okay, it's got some grease in here already, but it could use some more. If you look in there, we've got some grease in these journal boxes. It's not completely dry, which is a good thing, but it definitely needs some more lubrication. Let's look at this here. It looks worn in a weird way, but I'm not sure if that's the grease. That's kind of worn in a weird way. This is probably near the end of its life, service life. Let's see if these wheels spin on the axles. They do not. They're kind of holding in place. So let's see what Jared wants to do with these. Do you want us to try to chase these threads? Because it looks like they're going to split out again. It looks like they stripped out. It looks like they're rusted in right now. I don't think they're going to move.
I think if they're going to stay in, then they're going to be fine.
All right, so we'll just grease this one. And then we've got another truck on the floor that we're going to pull apart and do some more work to, because it's got a couple of wheels, or at least one wheel, falling off of the axles. So we're going to have to Loctite that on. So, well, I've got to get the grease now. How are we going to apply this? I thought about just dipping the ends of the axles in the grease, but it's going to make my grease dirty, so I don't want to do that. So I think I'm just going to dip my fingers in it like this. I know some of you are going to be squeamish about that, but, well, getting the job done here. And that's probably enough grease in both of those right there. And now I can grab the rag that I laid down on the other side of the shop. There we go. Greasy old rag. And I can dip my finger in there a little more clean. So again, we don't get the grease all dirty. Put about half of it in there. Put about half of it in there. That'll be good. It's going to squeeze out the grease holes when we pop this thing back together, but that's okay.
Probably should make sure the grease holes actually are not clogged. Guess we'll find out when we push these ones on.
They're not clogged.
Oh, yep,
See that? They're definitely open. Little red worms coming out. spin it around here and show you.
No, there's a little dirty stuff in there first.
Yeah. It's okay, it means it had grease in it. All right, now we'll just put this back together. I guess I got to take it apart a little bit to do that. There we go. Pull off one side. Slide this back together. These journal boxes are very, very loose. So you're going to want to consider replacing the brasses in this thing. Now, if you're wondering why I called it brasses, they're not really brass, they're probably bronze, but it's kind of shorthand for bushings. And usually copper kind of alloy bushings. So put this back on. We've got a couple of pins here, a couple of bosses here. There's one right here and one right here, and use that to hold one end of the spring. And let's see if I can do this with a screwdriver this time. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes things go smoothly, and sometimes they do not. All right, I'll push on the top like that.
I've also had luck with wide wood chisels that are beyond their useful life.
Oh, I don't have any wide wood chisels that are beyond their useful life. My wide wood chisels are all fairly new. All right. Oop. Yeah, that's what I mean about launching. Gotta go chase it across the floor. There we go. There's one side in. And there's the other side. That's seated nicely. One truck all greased and ready to go for another year. It's an annual thing. It's called maintenance. You grease it, you do whatever you got to do to it. And if you forget, then do it next time you remember. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart in the meantime, right?
Well, I have thermal images. I'll share with you guys later.
Oh yes, the thermal images. This thing has had some very hot journal boxes in the past.
Hot compared to the rest of the truck, at least. It was 126 degrees Fahrenheit on a 72 Fahrenheit day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got the other truck up here. The other truck is a little more interesting. It clunks. Shouldn't do that. But it's not a new truck either. Let's see what it does on this side. Oh my goodness.
I think it has a little bit of motion.
A little.
Definitely not new.
It's plenty flexible, that's for sure. So, I mean, if you want to look at it on the bright side, it is a very flexible truck. Maybe a little too flexible. So let's pop these springs out and see what we're dealing with. All this time, I thought we were just Loctiting a wheel on. Journal boxes are a little oblong. See what the end of the axle looks like. Get the grease off it. You know, it's a smaller diameter out here just past where the wheel is. I wonder if that's intentional. I don't remember that being the same thing on the other.
Well,
set of
these ones
trucks.
have the loose wheels on them, right? So we'll find
Yeah.
out if we take them off.
This one doesn't have loose wheels on it.
The other one does, though, so we'll see
Yeah.
the profile of the...
Oh, that's pretty bad. It's not supposed to be grooved and scored like that.
That's probably the one that was dry. What's
I would
the...
say
What's the... Oh, yeah,
that's from
that's
over here.
bone dry. That's the one that was overheating.
That's in a bad state, you might say. It's not in good shape anymore. It is well used. You've gotten your money's worth.
That is for sure.
Well, let's go to the next axle. Oh my, look at that journal box. Look at the brass there. Bronze bushing, technically.
Oh, wow.
It is oval shaped.
It is very oval shaped.
Yeah, I wouldn't run this. Oh, this is just as bad over
Yeah,
here.
I'm seeing
And
it.
that wasn't obvious.
No, it wasn't.
So,
It looks like it has like a ring of something in it.
That's grease.
Is that grease? Okay.
That's grease.
It also has some pine needles from one of the railroads I visited.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like you've gone right through the bronze bushing and right into the casting, the iron casting.
Wow.
Same over here, I think. It's hard to tell. But that doesn't look healthy.
No, I definitely will need to replace these trucks at some point.
Yeah, well, at the very least, you'll need bearings.
Yeah. We might drill them out to put roller bearings in them, so
That
would-
sounds like a good idea.
that would be a prudent activity.
Yes, most definitely. But in the meantime, we have a problem with that.
Okay.
Well, there's plenty of grease in here, so that's become your bearing surface. That's not doing you any favors.
No.
Yeah, this is... you got your money's worth. I'm going to grab a different kind of rag. I'm going to clean this up. And we'll see which way to go next. Stand by. Well, what I thought was brass was actually part of the cast iron casting. There is no seam in here. That's all just cast iron. And over here, it's worn in really good up into the casting here. So I would say this is both a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because it's cursed. I mean, it's not been treated well by previous owners because they didn't grease it very well. As evidenced by the way that Jared got it, completely dry and squeaking. And now we know why it was squeaking and why we know which one's the hot box. This one was the hot box. That's also where the axle was most scored. So what can be done on this, and it can't be done on my milling machine, but it can be done on another milling machine like a Bridgeport or something. You stick it in the milling machine and you bore this out and you put a bushing in there or a bearing or something, and then make new axles. That's what I'd do anyway. So that's about where we stop this project because I don't have a milling machine that'll do it. My milling machine is about as wore out as these trucks, so I don't trust it to cut a true bore. It's just a glorified drill press, and it's not even that good at that. It's just old and roached out. It happens. So I'm going to recommend that Jared takes this to a friend, another friend who has access to milling machines, and see what he can do. So, you know, I wish I could end this in a happier way, but I can't.
It's okay. We knew it needed work.
We're just stuck with the way it is, and you know what? That's just the way it is. Sometimes you think what's going to be a short project ends up being a long project, and sometimes something looks like it's one thing, it ends up being something different. And yeah, that's just the way it is. So I wouldn't say they're junk trucks, but they definitely need repair. Maybe they need to be brazed a little bit, maybe not, maybe just bored out. That's up to Jared. So I'm going to put these back together and make it easier to transport, because he's going to want to get this car on his trailer. And we thought we were just going to Loctite this wheel back on. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's not going to.
No, new axles, new.
It's new axles, and the wheels are okay. They're not great, but they're okay. They're passable. So that's what you call good enough. But the journal boxes, well, they're well worn. And well worn is, well, it's worn. I have no other words for it than that. Just other than wow.
It was pretty impressive. Eric had commented that it sounded like I was riding real railroad cars. And now we know why it was squeaking so much.
Yeah.
I knew it needed at least a minimum grease, but we had no idea how intense the problem was until we took it apart and realized there were no brasses in the bearing pockets, in the plain bearing pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very likely that I'm going to get these drilled out a little larger, and then we're going to put roller bearings in. Aaron or someone else might make new axles for these, and hopefully the castings will still be good enough. Otherwise, it will come back as an arch bar truck.
They'll be completely different trucks under the car.
Only the same wheels, ironically enough.
Well, let's try to put this thing back together. There we go. At least they go together easy enough.
That is the case.
I have no idea who it was that made these trucks, but it seems to be a fairly popular old cast iron, because I've seen them on a few trucks shaped like this. It was a little surprising that they didn't have brasses, though.
It was definitely a surprise.
But cast iron is a bearing surface sometimes.
And these are not the original trucks for this gondola, are they?
No, they're not. It was originally Plum Cove trucks under this. And Plum Cove trucks have their own special little quirks. Everything does. Like Ford, Dodge, Chevy, all have their own quirks. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is that Aaron actually, I believe, built this gondola many years ago.
No, I didn't build this gondola.
Oh, well, it was...
No, this was built by the gentleman who owns Plum Cove Studios now. He did not put these trucks under it, but it was one of his first live steam projects. And the fellow's name is Brett. And there we go. From what I understand, he built the gondola that these were riding under, and had put Plum Cove arch bars under it. At some point, it got these trucks from who knows where, and it's been riding on those ever since. But these are pretty well worn out, and I'd say these trucks are more than 50 years old, based on some of the other equipment I've seen that has them under it. So, yeah, a little bit of live steam history here.
Well, the gondola, I believe, was the one that you had on Facebook.
Yes.
It was from when you originally set up the Facebook for, I don't know, you can talk about it.
When Jeremy had the Backyard Railroading Facebook group, he took this gondola and painted it up and put Facebook Backyard Railroading on one side and Giggity Giggity on the other side. So it gained the name of the Giggity Gon. So
when I sanded it to repaint it in the DBRX scheme, we actually found all of this, and I'll send Aaron some pictures to insert in the video if I have them somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's a greasy mess, as they often are. It just occurred to me, now I need to re-wax my table saw.
It's an interesting table, that's for sure.
Yeah. Gotta clean it and re-wax it now. Well, I had to re-wax it anyway. I just did a bunch of stuff on it, so there we go. I've got 1 can of Johnson wax left. But I did find an alternative to Johnson wax for all the table saw guys who like to use Johnson wax. It's good stuff, but they don't make it anymore. I think Minwax makes an equivalent to it, a hard wax. So, but that's okay. I've still got some Johnson wax. On that note, thanks for watching today's video. Didn't come to the satisfying conclusion I expected, but it came to a conclusion nonetheless. So like, share, subscribe, or whatever. I know that's cliche, but
Interact.
yeah, interact with the video. Yeah, give it a thumbs down if you want, I guess. Yeah, I feel it feels anticlimactic to me. Not sure what else to say other than patreon.com/Millbrook Railroad and yeah, millbrookrailroad.com. See you in the next one.
Have a nice day. Bouncing a little more than it should.
Yeah, that's
It's officially a
little
Millbrook
lower.
Railroad video.
Yes, it's a little lower than it should be, though. It's at a very unfortunate angle.
Are both axles off?
Yeah. Front's off, too. Well, the back is off. You really got to put an F marker on that.
It could definitely use one.
I give you one, but I don't have any more Fs to give.